What if the reason your business isn't growing as quickly as you'd like had nothing to do with the strategy and had everything to do with the version of you who's kicking and screaming, trying to keep you comfortable? Welcome to Creatives Rule the World. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews. I help creatives become wealthy and sell out without selling out. And I'm excited today to have Chelsea Renee. She is a breathwork facilitator. She is a plant medicine, psychedelic medicine facilitator, and she also hosts an incredible event called Fempire and so much more. And I'm excited to have this powerhouse creative on the show today talking about so many different things. I just loved her energy. And when I originally decided to interview her, I wanted to do an in-person, but the dates didn't line up when she was going to be here in Arizona, although she's going to be here further in the season. So we're going to hear back from Chelsea a little bit later. This episode is something you are definitely going to want to lean into. So grab a drink, get ready. Let's do this. Let's dive right in. I am so excited to be here today with Chelsea Renee. Chelsea, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Tracy. I'm so excited to be here too.
We've been stalking each other on social media for so long. We're introduced by Jessica Bergio. Shout out to Jess. And I've been wanting to talk to you about all the things. And I think we're going to do another interview. I have a feeling that we're going to do another interview in person later down the road. It's exciting. So tell us a little bit about you. You have a really interesting, multi-passionate entrepreneurial journey. So I want to hear all the things.
My journey is definitely completely unique. I never really went any traditional path. If you are into human design, I have my incarnation cross is the right angle cross of the unknown. So I'm really just being blindfolded by the divine and being led into whatever next evolution that I'm meant to be in for my path. And so it has led me along a lot of different lifetimes, if you will. And I'm a serial entrepreneur and I love helping people. So that's like the basis of everything that I am, and everything I do is helping people feel connected to who they are and feel happy, feel powerful, and really just know that whatever is on their heart, whatever is their mission in this world is just meant to be how they show up and serve the collective. And so really empowering people with that. So yeah, I say usually to people that all of my companies are around raising the collective consciousness. And so that's what I really firmly believe.
Well, tell us about the different companies, because I know that you do a vast variety of things. And our initial connection was with your healing ceremonial space when we were talking about that. So I want to dig deep into all these different multifacets of Chelsea, because I find multi-passionate entrepreneurs the most interesting because we do have so many different interests and it's hard to stay reined in. So let's start there, and I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, definitely. So my first one I'll share is called Heart-Centered Humans, and we do immersive experiences and events and international retreats. And so taking people obviously out of the everyday and into an immersive experience that helps them feel something. And so we do sound experiences and breathwork experiences, cacao ceremonies, all different kinds of, just invitations for people to be present with themselves. And then we have Activate Breathwork, which is currently going through a rebrand, and we're so excited to be relaunching a month or two. And that is a breathwork technique that I channeled that is all about connecting you deeper with your ancestors and your spirit guides. And this is, if you know anything about human design, I'm a 2/4 emotional projector. And this was just like pulled out of me, like nothing. I was like kicking and screaming, honestly. I'm like, I don't want to be like creating a breathwork technique, but the universe and the collective was just like, no, this is a part of you. And then looking at my gene keys and seeing how many times breath is like written in it, you're like, okay, I hear you. I guess I'm here for that. So that is one thing. And that experience is just so profound. And it leads me to my other love of altered states of consciousness, which is the psychedelic realm. And so that is another company I have called Ascend Psychedelics. And we are raising the collective consciousness through like sitting with medicine and listening to the earth in those ways. And our passion there is to bring ceremony into the regulated model and really have the gold standard for psychedelics. Because if you are desiring to sit with that medicine, then you deserve the most incredible facilitators and the safest space to support you in that. And so that's our goal there. And my last one is Expand Leadership Initiative, which is a nonprofit that's all about helping women expand into their biggest, baddest, boldest self, like the most incredible woman that you came here to be. I really believe that if communities, to help the community the best, we need to have more money in the hands of women. And so I was like, how can I do that? Well, we'll help women companies thrive, women-owned businesses thrive. And how can I do that? Well, we can get them resources into rooms. We're even have an initiative where we're doing a rebrand on women companies, like just completely doing it for free. There's all these different initiatives where we're also buying women's books to just like support women's thought leadership in the world, all these different things and ways. And of course, Fempire, the business
Yes.
summit that we host twice a year, which is our biggest, most fun event. And it acts as a fundraiser and as a resource all in one. And so it's just like a miraculous, right? We had 130 women at our last one. Right now, for May, we have 160 women signed up. So we're thinking around 200, 250 will be joining us for May. So yeah, we're really just excited. And I hope you hear like the through line as like my desire and love for humans to be in connection with each other. And I also just say, because people are always like, why do you have so many businesses? I'm like, it's only because of tax and liability reasons. Come on, you guys. Like, it's only because of the system we live in. Like, if like it's all just me. It's all just me expressing myself and connecting with people. So yeah,
Well, I love all of this. My community is no stranger to the fact that I am obsessed with psychedelics, and I've been on a journey of self-exploration with psychedelic medicine for the past 7 or 8 years, and it's completely changed me and has helped me upgrade. And now this is not endorsing it for you. Obviously, you have to check in with your own internal guidance system, and the way that you expand when you're able to heal old patterns and to be able to look literally at the universe, it changes everything.
Yeah. I just feel, even just getting a glimpse of feeling that oneness is life altering.
So altering.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really want to talk about events, but I want to bring this back to activate breathwork because I'm fascinated about this modality. Because one of the things that I support my community in, especially in the Wealthy Creative Society, is through not only sales strategies and how do you like make money as a wealthy creative, but also like healing the thing internally that is keeping you from reaching your next level. And breathwork is a huge part of this. So tell me about how you're tapping into ancestors, because I have to do this.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that we're going to this conversation, because especially just as you're sharing what your audience and your ecosystem is going through, breathwork is what gets you to those next level identities. Like when you're feeling like I'm doing everything, everything's working, I'm not sure what's happened, like what's the next thing. And it's getting into your body and releasing some of those old stagnant patterns that might be holding you back into, that comfortable self. And you just got to let those things go, let them dissolve, and allow yourself to step into that next iteration, right? And so for specifically like the ancestors and spirit guides part of this breath work, I don't know how to explain it other than it's encoded into the experience itself. Like when I channeled this, it wasn't something like, ooh, let me channel something. It just like kind of came through me. And then I noticed that every time I was doing this, that spirit guides and ancestors were coming into my field more, because I'm attuned to that thing, not as much as others, but I do feel them. And I noticed over and over again when I was sharing this breath work that was the consistent feedback, that I was receiving messages from my ancestors and I was receiving visits from different spirit guides, and I had the spirit guide reveal themselves to me, because so often too when we're in this world, we're like, I don't know who my spirit guides are. I feel them. I know, like I have this feeling, I get messages from them, but I don't, like, they haven't revealed who, they haven't said, hi, this is who I am, or like shown their face, if you will. And so just a lot of experiences like that, even of course, like experiences, psychedelic like experiences, or like coming out of the womb experiences, or giving birth again experiences, connections with past loved ones that have passed on and have, brought messages. So there's just been a lot of incredible testimonials to it. So I just couldn't not acknowledge that fact at one point. And so after yeah, like a year and a half, I was like, okay, clearly this is something that distinguishes this specific kind of breath work, but like compared to others, right? Because there's something encoded in this frequency.
I'm really excited to do this with you at some point. I don't know where, but do you do
We're gonna
groups
do
or
it.
how does it work?
We're gonna do it in Arizona when I come out in August
Okay,
because
perfect.
we're gonna be doing
Come
like I
early.
don't know when this launches, but it's gonna be a breathwork US tour that I'm doing all over the United States this summer. And so we'll be in Minneapolis, we'll be in San Antonio, we'll be in Arizona at one point, we'll be all over, of course in Denver too, but yeah, there's
I'm
gonna be
in. So
eight to 10 cities we're going to.
we'll do an interview then, and then I'm going to go to your breath work. If you need help, you tell me. I'm here to help you. So excited about this. I have a good friend who does breath work and he's facilitated for my community. He lives in Sedona and he'll come down to the Phoenix area a couple times. And I love going to his because a lot of the breath work that we see, I'm not judging it. I love all breath work because I do breath work almost every morning, even just a 20-minute practice. But there's something to be said when you fully drop in and you're spending the time to really get into an altered state.
Yeah.
This is how you can experience psychedelics without being on psychedelics.
Exactly.
It's like the coolest thing. And I love it. I'm just like, oh, and you're like floating and like sometimes the release that you get is just game changing. So if anyone's listening is curious about this, find Chelsea's work. Where do they find the breathwork stuff?
Yeah, go to activatebreathwork.com and you can come and receive all the magic. And yeah, I think that even sometimes like the clarity that you need is just like if you're like, I don't know the answer, it's on the other side of a breathwork session.
We block ourselves so much from our conscious mind blocks us so much from what we need to see.
Yeah. And no, I think also to speak to that, what you were mentioning before too, the breathwork experience that I facilitate, it's it's a deeper total, like you have to lay down, you have to receive it. And I hear you, there's so many different breathwork techniques out there that are so supportive for different things. We also need to be holding space for us to go deep in those ways too. Yeah.
It's incredible. So I highly recommend anyone who's curious about this to go find a very good facilitator in your area who really drops you in. And you'll know because it's usually like a 2-hour session or something longer than a 1-hour class or something like that. So anyway, now I have you here because I want to talk about events. We are both obsessed with being able not only to curate community, but being in community for so many different reasons. So tell me, why do you love events and why do you even have a company? One of your companies is all about getting women together to lift each other up, break through.
I mean, honestly, it's not a broken record. I love talking about human design, but like it's literally just who I'm meant to be. I'm a community person. I love talking. Yeah, I'm a 2-4 exactly. My environment is valleys, so I just love to be with the people. I have a completely open head too, and I love to just think about what other people are thinking and just just get into other people's perspectives. I feel like it's a great way to relate to each other, and I think especially in this world that we've created that is so disconnected from each other, and community is something that is forced to be fostered. Like, you can't just walk out and just be in community like where we could have at a previous stage in our, human life, right? And so just really, I don't know, I have this desire for us to recreate spaces where we can honestly like actually walk out and feel like we are connected with our neighbors and all those things. I guess I'm like, let's start a commune. That's kind of like where I'm at, Tracy. I'm like,
Denver's like the best place for that, or Austin. Right? I feel like those two areas. It's like
with all the female entrepreneurs that are cool and like, yes, we want to have like a, have a farm, all of the things. Yeah.
We'll all have our own yurt houses that are not really, that's more than, I'm not camping, let's face it. But
yeah, a ceremonial yurt. We all have ceremonial yurts. We all have altars. We all have, we just support each other. And that's like I guess too, around this is like the concept of the village is something that I like think on a lot as I'm a new mom, newish. I said, God, I keep saying that. I've got a 2-year-old, but I'm an early mom. And when I think about like what it takes to be a village member for a mom or a
Hmm.
community, and how disconnected we've gotten from that as a society, and how unwilling we are to, I don't know, support a stranger. And I think like that's kind of, I've been playing with this thought process a lot, honestly, Tracy. I'm still with it. What does it mean to be a really good community member? And how do you do that when you aren't being seen by members of your community? Because
Oh, wow.
what
Let's talk
we
about this.
I know, right? Because that's the thing. It's like we all are always walking around in grocery stores, everything, interacting with other strangers. And because we don't know that person, we're like, whatever. What if we treated every person as somebody that we knew and that was also holding us accountable to how we wanted to show up in the world? It'd all really be genuinely better, just show up better. And I think about that because I'm often the mom that's struggling, and like, somebody could open the door for me and help so easily and it doesn't happen. Something like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's just the
And
kindness.
it's just those kinds of little moments, and you're like, I wonder, that's, I don't know, like how I show up in community, and as a community leader I also am wondering like how can I still continue to prompt people to be the good Samaritan when nobody's watching, over and over again, because that is what also uplifts our energetic vibrational frequency to allow us to be like a find opportunity, find the
Yeah.
business things. Like that's how people are like, oh, how do you get the success? I'm like, because I'm a fucking good person. When somebody at the grocery store is fucking struggling, I help them out. Sorry to curse.
This
I'm
is
like, I don't know if it's
so
appropriate.
true. Oh my gosh. Well, I just recorded an audio this morning for one of my communities, and I was like, be the customer you want to attract. It's kind of the same thing.
Yes.
It's a similar philosophy, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a really deep, dark shadow. Bitch Tracy comes out sometimes. And when I'm in that mode, I'm like, oh, wait, stop, because I'm not being the customer I want to attract. And I feel like this is an interesting thing because it's the same with community. Be the community member who is kind. I love what you said, kind when no one's watching, because that's where real change happens. I know
Exactly.
I've been building an app with, let's face it, I'm not building the app. My partner's building the app. I'm the visionary behind it.
Yeah. I've been working really hard on it though. It's
Oh,
hard to
yes,
vision that
it's
out.
insane. It's
Yeah.
finally working very well. Desire AI for anyone who doesn't know. And then we're
Hmm.
launching the sister company, Evolved Coaching AI, soon, where people can build their own versions of Desire AI. So it's their IP, a fully integrated coaching system that's fully customizable. It's incredible. But I'm saying this because there have been many moments when my partner in business is also my partner in life, and he's been spending many sleepless nights. I'm frustrated because I'm like trying to not wake him up when like I need to get in the room and all these things. And there's been moments where we've been like a little bit, with each other. And I was like, okay, let's take a look at the bigger picture and let's just be nice, because at the end of the day, he's tired. I am a little frustrated sometimes because I want time, quality time with him. And this is just a season. He keeps reminding me this.
Yeah.
This is just a season. And we're getting through it. We put in the hard work now because this is such an amazing thing that we're building to support the greater community. And it starts in your home, which has been something that I've been thinking about a lot, because as someone, and I want to know what you think about this, when you're kind of evolving to your next stage, do you ever feel like the darker side of you or the shadow side of you or the unhealed sides of you does not want to leave and goes kicking and screaming, trying to keep you the same? I don't know. Do you know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh, for sure. It's the shadow side and the light side, if you will. It's all of it.
Yes.
It's like, just let's stay comfortable. Let's stay here. Let's do anything that we can to prevent having to learn new things and carve out new neural pathways and make things harder for ourselves. I hear you on I don't know, those like moments of tension, especially like with your partner, especially when you're in an up level and like those seasons of growth too. I think what it's part of, I don't love the percentages. I don't want to say the wrong person, but the whole 80% of your life has to be the 10x. What's his
Oh,
name?
10x is easier than 2x thing.
Yeah, what's the name of that
It's
guy's?
his Dr. Benjamin Hardy.
Okay, see, I'm glad. I was going to say someone completely different. So what he says is you have to like excavate 80% of who you
Yes.
are. And I don't love that percentage, but I feel like when in that excavation process, of course, yeah, the kicking and screaming energy too, but it's also the grieving, the loving of those shadows too, that like has to be a part of the process. And it can feel like kicking and screaming, but really what it is is this acknowledgement of like, hey, I see you as a crutch, and you are a crutch that got me to this level that I'm at right now. And this level needed that. Whether, and the crutch, it can be a good or a bad thing. Yes. It doesn't need to be a bad thing necessarily. But like, that's got me here. And that's also not what's going to take me to this next level, right? So like, for instance, I've been talking a lot about with a friend of mine, and I think what we were sharing about before you might relate to, of like being in a community that you love and are infatuated with and you grow into, and then you also grow out of. How also disorienting that can be, to be like, these were my people and now they don't feel like my people anymore. And what
I've been there before.
Happened? I know. I mean, how does that feel, to like evolving out of where you're comfortable in, and also reaching towards like that unknown? And again, like I shared, expert at going into the unknown and not knowing what my next evolution or identity is going to look like. And yeah, especially with when you're in the eyes of other people, or like, relating to other people through the community lens, being a member of community and being a villager, it's hard to walk that line of what is my calling and my evolution, and how do I also show up for people,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Getting in a weird space there, but.
No, I get it, because inevitably, and this is a weird side effect of all of this, you have to leave, like, first of all, the old version of you behind, but then also people, places, different parts of you. And it's hard. I've had this happen in my family. Like, there's people that I can't talk to anymore just because they're not leveling up. And I'm like, I can't let their energy just like drag me down.
Yeah.
And I love that you brought in 10x is easier than 2x too, because I've been talking about that a lot. I think it's like a podcast, like 3 or 4 podcasts ago, I was talking about this, because we just focused our energy on the 20% of what we actually wanted and where we were going, and forgot about the rest. Imagine the power in that, right?
I think that's part of like when you're evolving too, because I've been thinking about this, because like my focus, your focus changes. And even when you're saying seasons, like when your focus is changing, that's your 20%, and it amplifies to 100%. And then for that, then you shift again.
Yep.
And then it goes to another 20%, to another 100%. And then it shifts again. And every time you change, and, my husband and I have been in a harder season. In October, he quit his job. We, were able to retire him, and just to be in that new season where he's home all the time. And then I had the last 6 weeks been traveling back to back for events every weekend. And so like, how do we relate to each other in these new ways? And also knowing like it's a new season, and like I get to find things that aren't working and decide like, okay, the moment I can start to completely, like, for instance, my calendar, right? Like things weren't working on my calendar, and I had too many things on my calendar. And I was like, they need to be
I feel that. I feel you.
And so I was like, okay, well, starting in January, and then I had to cull another level of things. I'm like, I can't be, if I am traveling for events every weekend and I'm gone away from my 2-year-old, like now I can't be going to events locally right now. Like, because like it is too taxing on me, and I have to be there for my family. And so it's like, even just like taking those edits for the season that you're in is how we keep evolving, and how we keep choosing the woman that we are becoming.
And then let's move this back to events, because I would go to every single event if I actually had the bandwidth and time. And why I'm such a huge believer in like, I feel the embodiment of going to an event. There's nothing that can replicate an in-person experience.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can replicate that. Feeling the energy of the room. And then also, even if you're an introvert, I mean, I'm an extrovert. So people might say like, oh, well, you like that kind of stuff. But I've heard from so many people, it's just like the expansion that happens in rooms is so different, because you can never replicate a random chance experience of having a conversation with someone that you would have never met otherwise.
Yeah. 100%. And I think even just to talk about what we were talking about before too, a little bit, bringing that in, it's when you decide to go into a room, whether it's a conference or whether it's a psychedelic retreat, you just making that decision is like shifting a timeline, right? Because you're saying yes to this next level version of yourself. Even in those little moments, it's like also just deciding it, just paying for it. It's already shifting the energy of your field. And I so agree with you, bringing it back to community. Those moments in events and where they're not planned. They're in the bathroom, they're waiting outside for the Uber, whatever it is. Those are the moments. I've met so many incredible women that have invited me into spaces or given me opportunities or connected me with other incredible women that I just, sometimes you never don't know what you don't know, and you have to get into those rooms to just be in that space of pure potentiality, right? Because that's what it is. It's deciding. And I always say something, and please, everyone who's listening, steal this when you're going into an event, and you can use a different iteration. But I'm like, I'm open for magic today. I'm open to be delighted today. I know like every person I interact with is going to like expand me into my next version, like something like that, that feels expansive for you, to tap into that energy. So when you're going in, you're like, everything that is happening is working out for me, and anything that misses me wasn't meant for me. And that feels good too, because I think sometimes, Tracy, I'm sure you experience at the beginning of like going to events, you can be like, I have to furiously write everything down. I have to like talk to every person. I have to introduce myself to every person. I have to pass out my business card so everybody knows who I am. And then you, after a couple, you realize actually at least for me, my goal is like, I just want one thing. And like anything else from that is a bonus. And I'm not looking for the one thing. I just know that it's going to come. And sometimes like for a one event that was, maybe on the more disappointing side, I had a dinner with some of the speakers, and like that was worth the entire trip, everything for me, right?
Yes.
Just honestly, it was one thing that one speaker said changed everything for me. And so that's also where we have to just be so open and not like critical. I was so grateful, and I would go back to that event again, even if I didn't feel like the event for me was worth it. It's not even about the event so much. Like, obviously, I'm an event host, and my Fempire is amazing. It's the best one ever.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I know. I can't wait either. It's not even really about the event. It's about the people, and it's about coming to a place where everybody's coming to, and being like growing your businesses and your referrals and your friends. That's what it's about.
Well, it's so funny. The other day I saw you were at Christina Bartold's event, High Vibe Women. And I know so many people who went. I was like, I missed that one. And a couple of my newer friends are like, you have to come to the one in September. So I loved your little video for that. And which brings me to your event, Fempire, which we were just mentioning. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that. Look at me.
Yeah.
You're just starting to announce the speakers, which is exciting.
Yeah, we're just starting to announce the speakers, which I'm so excited about. And the event itself is a business summit for wild female entrepreneurs. It's for women who know that the way that business has been done is not the way that they really want to do business, and they want to do business a different way, because honestly, as women, we do business in a different way than men do anyways. And so we're really like, flipping the traditional business models on its head. And we're also, of course, bringing in expert speakers. We are masterminding. We actually have intimate business masterminding at the end of the event. So every person, this is one of our incredible, unique things. The goal is that every person can leave with an aligned action step to take, because sometimes with events, I felt like you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I love everything. And I know I'm so jazzed up. It's like you're all cracked out. And then you're like, but I don't know what to do when you get back to your desk on Monday. And so like we pair everybody with expert business women that come in and say, what did you like to hear from this event? Like, what was like exciting you, and how can we take that information and directly apply it to you and your business? Because everyone has unique business situations happening too. So it was always, I know I was trying to compute. I'm like, how do I take that and actually apply it to what I'm navigating right now? So that's unique about us. Yeah, we're just fun. I mean, the dress code is business to Burning Man. So like people are dressing like
I love it.
Expressed, and it's a beautiful community of heart-centered and conscious women who really want to create beautiful businesses that are making change in the world. So I'm really excited about this.
The best is business to Burning Man. That is the best dress code I've ever heard of.
Right?
Tell me more about how you facilitate the masterminding with that many people, because you said there might be up to 200.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is like, it's bullshit. I don't know, Tracy, because every time it's a new, we started as a 70 people in the room, and then it was 95, and then we had 130. And now right now, like I mentioned before, we're at 160 and expecting, 200, give or take. I don't know. Every time is new. Every time is new. We have a massive whole second floor of a hotel that we have rented out. And so there's plenty of space, but the last time it was like, hey, mastermind facilitators, come up. I'm going to list you off. And I just counted people off from stage. It took a couple minutes, but we won't have to do that next time, and we'll have to adjust. But I think life of an event host for a little bit, for a glimpse for everyone, it's sometimes you just don't know how it's going to look, but you figure it out and you make it happen, and everyone left with so much value. Every time we've done it, we've had the most incredible takeaways.
So what has been one of your favorite parts about the Fempire events that you've done in the last season?
Yeah, I think honestly, one of my favorite, so because it's, run by a nonprofit, one of my favorite parts is seeing all of the women that would not have been able to get into that room that were because of our scholarship program, and because that we have this space and this ability to create access. We partner with a lot of other live event hosts to do the same thing too, because there's something around, if a woman wants to get in the room, I want them to be there. So to have a moment, share that with people, and have people look around and be like, wow, there was and it wasn't, nobody stood up or anything. It wasn't like that, but it was just hey, there were 18 women that were awarded scholarships and that are in this room that wouldn't have been here.
That's
just
so
for
cool.
Other people to be holy shit, that is so cool that my money for my ticket is going to help another woman that's literally in this room sitting beside me. That was a really cool moment for me, because when I first started Fempire, it was underneath my own brand. And I just was I was just a woman with a vision and an idea, and a big heart. And then when we had the first event, I was like, wow, this is way beyond me. I felt how big it was. And I knew that's why, I started the nonprofit, and then I sold the event to the nonprofit for $1, because I was just
I love that.
I was just I want this to be beyond me, and I want this to be in service of all women everywhere. And so to have moments like that, because that was, a real, that was the first time we were able to really do that. And so to have that moment was really exciting for me, and to see the different initiatives that we're funding now and growing into, it's really exciting, because I want women and their companies to be thriving, and I want our communities to be just so supported by what we're creating, because we're creating it from our hearts and our wombs and our truth. And the more that we create, the more our communities are supported and loved.
I love this so much. So if people want to go to the next Fempire event, when's the next event? I know you have 2 this year, correct?
Yeah, so we happen twice a year. So there's always another one coming. So if you're listening and you're like, oh, I miss it, it's okay, there's another one coming soon. So our next ones are May 16th and 17th. And then we have our next ones in November, for November 7th and 8th. And you might love a speaker that we have coming in November too.
Woo! Woo! Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited for you and our friendship and everything that's coming out of this, and to interview you again in a couple of months. We're going to talk about something different. I cannot wait.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
So where can everyone find you if they want to check out Fempire and some of the other things that we spoke about?
Yeah, honestly, the best place to come and hang out with me is going to be on Instagram at the Chelsea Renee. And you can find my link in bio, see what I'm up to, see what I'm posting about, see what's on my stories, be nosy, and yeah, just come hang out.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode today. This is Tracy Matthews signing off until next time. But before I do, if you're interested in anything that Chelsea spoke about, make sure that you check out all the links in the show notes. You can see her social media links. You can also see information about Fempire, her incredible event that's happening in Denver, and so much more. And remember that the magic happens and drops in when you least expect it. All right, ciao for now.